Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much for joining me here. Hope you're having an amazing day. We're taking a look here at Pepe, seeing what's going on. Looks like we did have a nice little bounce off that support range, roughly at about 104,000. We'll talk about that and a handful of other things that are really important to recognize. So be sure to watch all the way through just so you can learn something here today. And you do want to become a better trader. If you've got a trading academy, community, and signals group, cryptocash.tech is a site. Link down below to register for that. Also got an awesome giveaway here for BINGX, nice little $100 for no volume or deposit required. This is a benefit, kind of a pivot here from our BITGET exchange, of course, because KYC killed a lot of folks in that regard. And that being said, if you're in a country like Canada, Europe, Oceania, US, UK, you can benefit from something like this with no fee, BM, or KYC required. Taking a look also, very last thing here is the important thing, $50,000 prize pool with BITGET. So really cool exchanges there. Make sure to use my link down below to register for BITGET so you can be eligible for those prize pools. Typically there's a new one every month, and it's just a really easy way to make some money by just using your favorite exchange. Both exchanges are my favorite, but one serves purpose if you're in the US and Canada. The other serves purpose if you're in other countries. So be sure to check that out. You do need a VPN with BITGET if you are in a restricted country. That being said, with Pepe, what I want to recognize here is a few things that are important. First of all, with the MACD, we are still diverging pretty significant. You got to recognize that that's going to happen when we have such a large downtrend, right? We also have the RSI kind of did a little bit of a bounce there off that 40 range. Now, it's not like it's a key level or anything. It's just a standard bounce off of a key level support that isn't on the RSI. The important thing here to note, though, is that 50 on the RSI will be a resistance level, and we need to kind of recognize that that's going to be a point of contention for us here. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at that and pay attention to that moving forward. Well, what that is reflected on the charts here, though, is that level from what we saw before, right there in the resistance range, about 140, 150. Okay, so we're not there yet. We're a little ways from it, but we'll have that conversation again later if it comes down to that. Let's take a quick look at our moving averages here and see. We finally got the 50-day SMA averaging itself out here today, roughly about 128. So that's going to be a key level resistance there. Coincidentally, we have a resistance level right there at that same point. So I would say 128 would be a good profit target for us, if you will. So that way you can get in and get out before the price turns itself around at that key level. Again, it's not a definitive line in the sand, but it is pretty obvious. We had 3 or 4 days where the price had difficulty crossing that plane. That's an important thing to recognize. So that being said, let's take a quick look at the 4-hour and see what this tells us here. Now, we've had a pretty strong 4-hour candle. Of course, that's because of the simple fact that Bitcoin also had a pretty strong candle that bounced off that support at 25.3. So if you're curious to how Bitcoin's behaving, be sure to watch my videos every day because it really helps you get perspective on what's going on. Because if you don't know what Bitcoin's doing, you're kind of putting yourself at a disservice because look at this. Do you see a correlation between these two charts? Yes, almost every single chart out there has a similar correlation like that. Okay, so you got to recognize that Bitcoin makes a move, Pepe will as well. Okay, no matter how much you love this coin or hate it, whatever the case is, you need to recognize that it's going to be running concurrent for the most part with Bitcoin. Okay, that being said, Bitcoin's behaving positively today, bouncing off that support 25.3, up about 1,000 or a few percent. Pepe is the same thing as well, times 2 or 3, right? It's basically 2 or 3x of Bitcoin for the moment. Keep in mind, it's 3 to 5x of Bitcoin to the downside right now. So you got to recognize that it's a bigger risk to trade a coin like this than it would be a stabler coin like Bitcoin. That said, 4-hour time frame tells us that we are testing 50 on the RSI, which is this resistance level here, this 0.618 Fibonacci level at roughly, let's go ahead and see where that is. That is the 120. So 120 is a definitive resistance level. Coincidentally, previous support, okay? It's exactly how that always works. The previous support levels turn into current resistances. So you got to recognize that's going to be a point of contention. Closing above 120 today, I think, is very, very important. Furthermore, we got a MACD convergence here. While it did just converge as a positive sign, it's not 100% definitive you go long because of this. It just tells us that, hey, we're converging now. The shift in momentum is likely to continue. Therefore, we might see further upside, but it would make sense we see a potential pullback first, okay? A lot of times stuff like this, cups and handles where the price action comes back down to next support level here. We got 145 as the 114 rather. 114 as a potential support level here where the price could bounce off that Fibonacci level at 0.5. Okay? Again, could be, should be, we are not quite sure where that's at, but bottom line here is that the 4-hour looks tentatively bullish, but again, it's only one 4-hour candle that's causing this. A little too early and premature, in my personal opinion, to just jump right in. But again, Different strokes for different folks, right? Could have jumped in at the bottom. There's a lot of different strategies, of course, but when things become extremely overextended, that's a good point in which you want to do that. We've already passed that overextension point. Now we're kind of in that fair to midland, where we got to rely on support and resistance zones. So last thing we want to look at here would just be the Ichimoku cloud. We can see that we are tentatively breaking above, but not officially above that yet. You got to keep in mind that Bitcoin is a long ways away from breaking through that. Therefore, if this works as a resistance level, just say for example, then we will also see Pepe pulling back as well. Could even pull back to the 110 mark. All right, so just keep in mind we're not in the out of the woods yet, but we're getting there. Okay, this is more positive than negative, I can tell you that. But it's still a little premature. We've got just one or two strong 1 hour candles, and that's it. Not a lot to base a decision on, right? And that's what happens with these kind of coins. As the volume starts to dissipate, the price will as well. So we got to recognize that yes, we're tentatively above the cloud. We're naturally breaking through. It's going to make sense for the price to pull back to the 114 to 110 range, just based on that natural progression of how that will work. Okay. What I'm looking at here too as well, conversion lines above the baseline, there's good momentum, and the lagging span is soon to be free and clear of the price action. So in truth, a long position is much more viable than a short position. Okay, just be mindful that Bitcoin pulls back, right? If Bitcoin pulls back, which I would anticipate, then we're going to see the same thing happen with Pepe. It'll just be, once again, a lot stronger of a pullback. Bitcoin pulls back to that support level, we're going to see Pepe lose its support. That's just how strong of a contraction that is. A lot of coins are the same way, so it's nothing special. It's just some coins are extremely, more or less than Bitcoin. Right now, I'd say there's about a 3 to 5x of Bitcoin, both to the upside, but the downside seems even stronger. Okay, so again, just some things to kind of recognize, okay? I'd like to put that in your head just so you can kind of see. I don't want you to make a decision based on what I'm doing here. I want you to make a decision based on your own risk tolerance and your own risk management. Okay, so please ensure you're always being safe and a good, healthy trader when you're taking trades, and you make sure you're not overextending yourself too. I'd greatly appreciate all your support, current community members, etc. We are having day trades very, very soon. Really awesome, cool stuff here with BINGX, with copy trading and signals too. So be sure to stick around for that. But if you're not currently a community member, cryptocash.tech is a site, link down below. We are offering day trades in the very, very soon future. In fact, I think we just went live with that. As a matter of fact, you can register on the website for it. But as far as the upgrades are concerned for current community members, we just got a couple more days. We need to work with our web guys for that. I appreciate your patience. We'll look forward to working with you if you aren't currently a member. If not, thanks again for your support. Like, subscribe, follow the whole 9 yards. We'll see you in the next one. Have a great rest of your day. Take care.